Today is Monday of Holy Week. My name is Pastor Anthony, and this is Wilderness Wanderings. Today our text comes from Luke 19. When Jesus entered the temple courts, he began to drive out those who were selling. "It is written," he said to them, "My house will be a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers." Every day he was teaching at the temple, but the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the leaders among the people were trying to kill him. Yet they could not find any way to do it, because all the people hung on his words. Luke 19, verses 45 through 48. Immediately following Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday, Luke tells us that he went to the temple and began to drive out those who were selling. Matthew shares this story too, and he tells us that Jesus started flipping over the tables of money changers and the benches of those selling doves. John goes even further when he tells this story, telling us that Jesus made a whip out of cords to help speed the cattle and the merchants out of the temple courts. In the tradition of the church, this scene has been referred to as Jesus cleansing the temple. The center point of Jewish worship and the place God caused his name to dwell, the temple was to be a place of prayer and a witness to all nations. Instead, it had become a good place to fleece the sheep and cash in on the foreign currencies brought by the nations. The religious establishment had become quite a lucrative enterprise, driving the economic wheels of commerce in Jerusalem. And so Jesus, invoking the prophet Jeremiah, called it a den of robbers. Of course, the executive management of the temple called Jesus bad for business, and were looking for any opportunity to kill him off. Today, we in Hamilton go back to gray in the color-coded pandemic restriction regime. We're quite done with this whole business of being restricted and long for the day when we can go back to normal in our lives, but also at church. But what if normal, as we knew it in 2019, isn't what Jesus is hoping for our church? If he arrived at Emmanuel CRC in 2019 on the heels of his triumphal entry, what tables might he have overturned here? What kind of cleansing might he have worked to restore the vision of a house of prayer among us? Of course, in fact, our pews have been overturned. Tables now sit in their place. And our worshiping community on a Sunday decimated. And we won't get into wondering if God meant to bring some kind of judgment or cleansing through the pandemic, as that's not terribly helpful. But it may be worth wondering what kind of normal should mark the life of the church after this. How might Jesus be calling our church to live differently coming out of this pandemic than when we went into it? In what areas might he ask for our repentance? In what areas might he offer a commendation and an invitation to continue or to go deeper? Of course, you can ponder those questions in your own life too. But as you do, and as you enter further into this Holy Week, leading up to Good Friday and Easter, go with the blessing of God. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you, wherever he may send you. May he guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May he bring you home rejoicing at the wonders he has shown you. May he bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors.